Welcome to video 4 for Team 4, presented by David Mastrangelo, Jennifer Overing, Amanda Phillips, Justin Savoy, and Chad Took on specific marketing information and relevance of environmental factors for Oceania, which consists of Australia, New Zealand, and Indonesia. Australia, officially the Commonwealth of Australia, is a sovereign country comprised of the mainland of the Australian continent, the island of Tasmania, and numerous smaller islands. Australia is the largest country by area in Oceania and the world's sixth largest country. Current major U.S. businesses, products, services, and franchises in Australia. According to the International Trade Administration, around 1,400 American companies operate in Australia in a wide variety of sectors. A few of the major U.S. businesses presented in Australia include Google, Microsoft, Apple, IBM, Cisco, Reddit, Square, Airbnb, Everbright, Boeing, and General Electric. U.S. product services areas include technology and software, telecommunications, aerospace, financial services, healthcare, and retail. U.S. direct investments in Australia. The decision to approve or deny foreign investments application is ultimately made by the Treasurer of Australia based on the assessment of whether the investment would be contrary to the national interests and national security. The United States is Australia's largest foreign investor, with a stock of investments at the end of 2020 valued at $737 billion. 7% of Australia's GDP is a direct result of trade and investments with the United States. U.S. companies employ over 320,000 Australians with an average salary of more than 100,000 AUD or 68,000 US dollars. The U.S. is by far the strongest investor in Australia. Over a quarter of all Australians' foreign direct investments come from the U.S. America invests more in Australia than it does in China, South America, and the Middle East. Nature of U.S. business presence. In Australia, the U.S. businesses have a significant presence and operate in various sectors of the economy. They involve a wide range of industries, including technology, finance, manufacturing, retail, and services. Many U.S. businesses have established direct investments in Australia through wholly owned subsidiaries or joint ventures. Examples of U.S. businesses with direct investments in Australia include Chevron, ExxonMobil, Boeing, Ford, and General Electric. Franchises is common with U.S. franchises like McDonald's, KFC, Little Caesars, Grease Monkey, Amco, and Subway being well established in the market. The franchise sector in Australia is a mature state and becomes the distribution method of choice for many, with 90,000 plus franchise businesses in Australia. The market sector turns over $155 billion and employs more than 516,000 people, according to the IBS World Franchising in Australia report published in June of 2020. Overview of U.S. direct investments in Australia. In the first line chart, you can see that the U.S.-Australian has a considerable investment relationship, reflecting confidence in the strength of both countries, their political and legal institutions, and in the U.S.-Australian relationship more broadly. You can also see that the U.S. is the largest foreign investor in Australia by far. In 2021, the U.S. investments made in Australia were valued at approximately $167.19 billion US dollars. The total direct position of the U.S. abroad amounts to $6.49 trillion that year. Opportunities and barriers for U.S. businesses. Major areas of opportunities include technology and software solutions, particularly in cybersecurity and data analytics, renewable energy, including solar and wind power, healthcare and pharmaceuticals, infrastructure development, including transportation and urban planning, e-commerce, and online retail. One area of particular opportunity for us is in Australia's quantum community and related research areas have world-class expertise in the race to develop a silicon-based quantum computer and intermediate quantum computers, notably optical approaches. Current issues and concerns for U.S. businesses: increased competition from domestic and international players, regulatory complexities and compliance requirements, distance and logistical challenges due to Australia's geographical isolation, uncertainties related to government policies, and potential changes in taxation or trade agreements. Relevance of environmental factors. Australia presents a desirable country for U.S. firms to consider as an international business alternative due to several factors. Australia is the 12th largest economy in the world, with mining sectors growing exponentially each year. The economic environment getting more stable, and rich government incentives for international companies make it even easier. They have a stable political environment with a strong rule of law and respect for intellectual property rights. They have a developed infrastructure and advanced technology capabilities, large consumer market with a high standard of living, and a strong affinity for U.S. products and brands, strong culture and logistic ties with the United States, facilitating business interactions and market entry, increased demand for environmentally friendly solutions and sustainable practices, creating opportunities for U.S. firms specializing in renewable energy and clean technology. New Zealand is an island country in the Southwest Pacific Ocean. It consists of two main land masses, the North Island and the South Island, and over 700 smaller islands. Current major U.S. businesses, products, services, and franchises in New Zealand. Major American companies include Google, Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Apple, IBM, Walmart, Amazon, Ford, McDonald's, General Electric, and 3M. Overview of U.S. direct investments in New Zealand. The United States is a significant investor in New Zealand, although on a smaller scale than Australia. The United States is New Zealand's third largest trading partner after China and Australia, with whom New Zealand has free trade agreements. In 2021, New Zealand imports from the U.S. totaled $3.7 billion. New Zealand was the United States' 47th largest goods exporter market in 2020. In 2020, U.S. direct investments in New Zealand totaled $12.9 billion, concentrated in the manufacturing, finance, and wholesale trade sectors. Top U.S. goods exports to New Zealand include aircraft, machinery, vehicles, electronic machinery, and optics and medical instruments. Nature of U.S. business presence. New Zealand's government accepts that foreign investment is an important source of financing for New Zealand and a means to gain access to foreign technology, expertise, and global markets. Over 300 U.S. companies have subsidiary branches in New Zealand. Many operate through local agencies, and some are in association and joint ventures. U.S. product services areas include technology and software, telecommunication, financial services, healthcare, and retail. U.S. franchise direct investments. American franchise brands, particularly in fast food and hospitality sectors like McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Dunkin' Donuts, and Domino's, have established a significant presence. They operate through franchise agreements with local entrepreneurs and manage individual outlets. In the pie chart on the left, you can see the U.S. represents only 13% of New Zealand's direct investments. In 2019, the U.S. invested roughly $7.4 billion, as illustrated in the graph to the right. Opportunities and barriers for U.S. businesses. Major areas of opportunities for U.S. firms include technology and software solutions, including cloud computing and digital services, agricultural technology and equipment, tourism and hospitality, including luxury accommodations and experiential travel, renewable energy and sustainable practices, education and travel services. Current issues and concerns for U.S. businesses: relatively small market size compared to larger economies, limited scale and growth opportunities, geographical isolations and distance from major global markets, competition for domestic businesses and other international players, potential regulatory and compliance challenges, currency fluctuation, and exchange rate risks. One particular concern is U.S. pharmaceutical industries have voiced concern over access to New Zealand's pharmaceutical market, in which the government of New Zealand is a primary purchaser of pharmaceuticals in the country. Relevance of environmental factors. New Zealand can be considered a desirable country for U.S. firms to consider as an international business alternative due to several factors: stable political environment with a strong rule of law and low corruption levels, well-developed infrastructure and advanced technology capabilities, a high-quality education system that promotes innovation and entrepreneurship, strong focus on sustainable environmental conservation, providing opportunities for U.S. firms specializing in renewable energy, eco-friendly products, and conservation technology, growing tourism sector driven by the country's pristine natural environment and unique cultural experiences which can benefit U.S. firms in the hospitality and travel industry. Indonesia, officially the Republic of Indonesia, is a country in Southwest Asia and Oceania between the Indian and Pacific Ocean. It consists of over 17,000 islands. Current major U.S. businesses, products, services, and franchises in Indonesia. Major U.S. businesses present in Indonesia include Google, Microsoft, ExxonMobil, Cargill, General Electric, and Coca-Cola. U.S. direct investments in Indonesia. The United States has a significant investor in Indonesia, but the level of investments is lower compared to Australia and New Zealand. Indonesia was the United States' 33rd largest good exporter in 2020. U.S. direct involvement in Indonesia totaled approximately $21 billion in 2020. Major sectors attracting U.S. investments include mining, manufacturing, finance and insurance, and information services. Examples of businesses with direct involvement in Indonesia include Freeport-McMoRan, General Electric, Cargill, and ExxonMobil. Nature of U.S. businesses present. U.S. businesses have established direct investments in Indonesia primarily through wholly owned subsidiaries or joint ventures with local partners. U.S. product service areas include technology, software, energy manufacturing, consumer goods, and financial services. U.S. direct investments. The overall value of the Indonesian food service sector grew at a compound annual growth rate of 7.7% from 2014 to 2019. Food service sales reached $24.3 billion in 2020. American franchise brands, particularly in the fast food and hospitality sectors like McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut, Starbucks, and J.C. Donuts and Coffee, have established a significant presence. They operate through franchise agreements with local entrepreneurs who manage individual outlets. Unlike Australia and New Zealand, the U.S. is a small direct investor in Indonesia. The bar chart on the left shows that the U.S. invested $1.22 billion of Indonesia's direct investments in 2018. The 2019 results are only for the first quarter. The bar chart on the right shows the total direct investments in Indonesia in 2018 was $609.3 billion. Opportunities and barriers for U.S. businesses. Major areas of opportunities for U.S. firms, infrastructures developed include transportation, energy, and urban planning, renewable energy, particularly solar and geothermal power, manufacturing and industrial sectors, including automotive and electronics, information and communication technology solutions, healthcare and pharmaceuticals, current issues and current concerns for U.S. businesses, complex and evolving regulatory environment, including bureaucracy and corruption, infrastructure limitations and challenges, intellectual property rights protection, localization requirements and restrictions of foreign ownership in certain sectors, cultural and language barriers. Relevance of environmental factors. Indonesia presents both desirable and undesirable aspects as a country for U.S. firms to consider as an international business alternative, depending on the industry and specific environmental factors. Desirable factors include a large and growing consumer market, rich natural resources, and opportunities for infrastructure development. Undesirable factors include regulatory challenges, corruption risks, and environmental concerns related to deforestation, population, and climate change. For U.S. firms specializing in sustainable practices, renewable energy, and environmental solutions, Indonesia's environment challenges may possess opportunities for collaboration and innovation. However, these factors also carefully consider and mitigate strategies to navigate potential risks and ensure compliance with environmental standards.